You can hear me now. I can see the mic. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, princess. I love you. Yeah. I had to swap out my headsets. I forget the other one was not hooked up right for this. Hey, Billy D. What's the going on, sister? How warm is it in that big city of Chicago? It's supposed to be 71, 72 here tomorrow. Christmas in Dixie, y'all. Don't get much better than that. Woo, we don't like that 40s. Mm-mm. Not a 40s fan. Oh, Vincy, what I was asking you earlier were how are the kids? And let me say hi to Reese. Hi, Reese. Hi, Mala. And they love you, babies. Mwah. Okay, there. Got all my loves out of the way. Miss Pebbles, I do apologize, darling. I swear I can't have nothing straight when you're gonna be on here. Just my apologies. Y'all about ready? I think we're mostly on here. um Pebbles, what chapters am I reading? I didn't verify that. Sorry. Okay, then I'll just start at the beginning because I have not read your books yet. I have not read these. I'm waiting. Don't get, I'm just trying to get everything together and then. So I'll just start with chapter one. Okay, guys, this is book two of the My JoeSmith series. And so let's get started. A diamond changed everything. Oh, too low. Just keep that music just right. Okay, there we go. After finding the earring JoeSmith took from my ear in my boss's desk drawer, I can't get my brain to focus on any one particular thing. All right, now if you guys remember correctly, um, she in the last part that I read, she had just told her BFF that she was seeing this dude that she had never technically seen before, and he would take her to a mansion that was technically a club. So I hope that helps you guys out. Um, After finding the earring JoeSmith took from my ear in my boss's desk drawer, I can't get my brain to focus on any one particular thing. My thoughts race in 100 different directions. I vaguely remember leaving work and getting in my car, but the drive home is a blur. And here I sit, in front of my computer, terrified to turn it on. What if Ben knows I found the earring? Will an explanation be waiting in my work? or private email? If so, would he have written as Ben Manning or as his alias, Joe Smith? Thank you. Or his alias, Joe Smith, dungeon master, deceiver of stupid women, big, fat liar. The foggy numbness in my brain is slowly subsiding. I slumped into the desk, rest my forehead on my crossed forearms, and let the tears seep effortlessly. If Ben's my master, why would he hide it from me? And why burden me with the guilt of us having sex as Ben and Terry? Why? Is this another of Joe Smith's games? Wait, shit! They're Ben's games! He's Ben! My head tips to the side and my eyelids feel swollen when I blink. A tea won't solve my issues, but it would be nice. My body goes through the motions of filling the kettle and setting it on the stove, and then I stand in the middle of the kitchen staring at it until it blurs. What if Ben's not Joe Smith? Surely that earring was made in mass production, and I'm not the only person in the city to have worn them. For all I know, someone who works with us could have the match to the one in the box, and it's not mine at all. If I were braver, I'd ask Ben about it. But if the answer is what I believe it to be, then what? But if Ben isn't Joe Smith and I ask him if he is, he'll want to know who Joe Smith is and why I have sex with a faceless man who dominates me. Asking Joe Smith is out of the question. If I do and he actually is Ben, the thrilling mystery of it all will end. He won't want to see me again because he craves anonymity, and the fantasy will be ruined. And damn it, I don't want that either. I want nothing to change, and yet everything has, for me at least. But the man I fucked in the bathroom doesn't know I saw the earring. Or does he? It's like I'm trying to remember through fog. No, he couldn't have seen me. He was in the bathroom. I'm sure I put it back where I got it. Or did I? Does he wonder why I left so abruptly? If he asks, I could say that guilt overwhelmed me because he knows about the other man. Shit! I don't know what to do. I hug the mug under my nose to let the steam heat my lips and I start the computer. The next time Joe Smith's around, I'll keep my wits about me. He might slip up and I'll get a good look at his eyes or the shape of his lips. Ben's eye color is unique. Emerald green. How he was able to hide them, even with eye holes in his mask, is impressive. I mustn't let them know that I know. But what if I'm wrong? I disappointed Ben because I gave in to my sexual desires and let him have me in his office. Was the Joe Smith side of him disappointed? Or does the man think I'm a floozy who sleeps with anyone? My brain hurts. That's me. My brain hurts, y'all. The phone rings at full volume and I screech, spilling hot tea on my blouse. While panting, I set the mug down and unbutton my blouse as I dig through my purse, seeking the chiming phone. It's Sam. She's called multiple times, but I didn't hear it ring. What do I tell her, if anything? Should I tell her about my suspicions? I could be wrong. Until I know for sure, I'll keep it to myself. I can brag about Ben and me in the bathroom, omitting the part about finding the earring. Hey, what's happened upstairs? Sam's out of breath and her voice is hushed. Do I need to go back in there and punch Bossman in the face? For you, I'll do it. Just say the word. I don't need this job. I mean, I do, but no, everything's fine. Don't hit him. I laugh, but it sounds foreign. I'll do it if it means protecting your honor, she hisses. My honor? What? I groan, pull my arms out of the sleeves of my shirt, and drop it in the sink to rinse it out later. Why are you out of breath? I'm rushing to my car. It's Friday. Early release day, remember? You only had half an hour to go before we punched out. People were asking me questions, but I had no answers. So, what did you tell them? If I know her at all, she told them something embarrassing. She giggles, and I'm sure of it. I told them your hangnail was bothering you. My what? Are you serious? You looked like shit, she says, and I hear her car door slam. Just kidding. I told them you had the shits. What the fuck, Sam? Thanks a lot. You couldn't think of something less embarrassing? I could have stuck with the usual go-to. Herpes flare up. She replied sharply, and I groaned. So, spill the dirt. What happened up there? And don't you dare leave out any details, especially the naughty ones. I'd rather tell you in person. I need more time to decide what I should and shouldn't tell her. Her car revs and dings. Lady, you better fess up right fucking now. Did you fuck him or not? You looked pale as a ghost when you came downstairs. She pauses, but when I didn't speak, she adds, was he that bad at it? No, don't tell me. Yes, tell me. Damn it! Your answer can ruin the fantasy for this kitty. Her groan brings a smile to my face because I can picture her with her palms up as if weighing the pros and cons. Fuck it! Small penis, two-stroke joke, farts when he comes. I can take it. My laughter feels good. I lean over the island with my elbows bearing the weight of my shoulders. Sam, every moment was incredibly sexy. He's so intense. My smile grows wide at the memory of how his eyes bore into me when he covered my mouth so I wouldn't scream through an orgasm. It was one of those spur of the moment opportunities I would regret for the rest of my life if I didn't take the leap. I leaped right into his fire. The hoes are usually the most memorable. Keep going, she says. Tell me where. On his desk? No, his bathroom. It started innocently enough. I was washing my face, but he was looking at me intently, so I kissed him. I licked my lips, hoping to taste him again. Anyway, he set me on the counter and fucked me, and then he had me stand and face away from him so he could fuck me while we watched each other in the mirror. Wow, that must have been so. Her words filler. Hot, erotic, naughty. Yeah, all of that. Pure lust. I stand straight and run my fingers through my hair to pull it off my face. Fuck, it was so much better than I'd imagined it could be. She talks faster than usual, which is quite a feat. Holy shit! Next question, is he hung? No, wait, don't tell me. If he has a teeny jelly bean for a dick, all those fantasies involving his cunt-destroying cock will forever be tainted. She pauses while her groan sings in my ear. Don't tell me his cock size. Just tell me, was he great? Wait, one more question. Did you come? Which sort of answers the previous question? Girl, I came 4 times. The way he stared into my eyes while he fucked me did it for me. If you think he's good looking in his relaxed state, you should see how hot he is in the throes of passion. I sit at the desk and lean back in the chair with my eyes closed and pinch my thighs together to calm my twitching pussy. The man had a penetrating stare that set me on fire. You're right. You shouldn't have told me over the phone. I'm at a stoplight rubbing my clit through my pants, she says. I wish I could have seen it. It was a hot scene, I tease. She grumbles, and I'm sure it's because the red light turned green. When are you two going to hook up again? I clear my throat. We're not. It was a mistake. JoeSmith will be furious with me. I sigh and shake my head. I may have just lost him forever. She's quiet, and I hear her car's engine rev. You don't have to tell him. Ben used a condom, right? Of course. I remember him tearing it open and how, at that moment, I desperately needed him inside me. Then there's nothing to worry about. JoeSmith need not know. She mumbles something about another driver before she continues. If you won't be with Ben again and you use the condom, there's no reason to confess. I don't know what I'm going to do. Time to change the subject before I confess more. What time do you want to meet at the salon? She hisses. Wait a minute. This conversation isn't over. If the sex was so great, why were you so anxious afterward? And why leave in such a hurry? Should I tell her he was disappointed I betrayed my other lovers? Does she feel betrayed? I don't know. Guilt? I had to get as far away from Ben as possible. Leaving seemed like the best idea at the time. She agrees. Mm-hmm. I understand. Hey, I clear my throat. Did he come downstairs to ask you where I went? Was he acting weird? She yells away from her phone, and I picture her leaning out her window, giving another driver an evil glare. Learn how to drive, you asshole! The gas is on the right. If you press it down on it, your car will move forward. Her mouth returns to the phone, and I hear the hum of her window rising. Sorry about that. Why can people drive like ninnies? Well, they don't. My head shakes even though she can't see. You're a speed demon and you know it. Whatever. She dismisses me. Bossman looked out from his office at your cubicle and then he scanned the bullpen. When he didn't see you, he went to the lunchroom and then came to me wearing a very concerned look. He asked if I knew where you were, and I told him you weren't feeling well and went home. He looked confused and maybe a little scared when he walked back to his office. She lets out a heavy sigh. He was still at his desk, staring at the wall in front of him when I left 20 minutes later. I wanted to feel bad for him, but couldn't because I didn't know why you left. Did he look at his desk drawer? She paused and questioningly asked, I don't think so, but what would it matter if he did? It doesn't, I say sharply and shake my head. I was just asking. Hey, I have to let you go so I can yell at this fucking asshole again. I'll meet you at the salon at 4. You can pick up a pizza before heading back to your place if you want. Should I plan on spending the night, or are you already completely satisfied? She teases. It's okay if you want to be alone. I giggle. I'll meet you at 4, and yes, you can spend the night, but only if you're buying the pizza. I'll supply the wine. Deal! Don't buy something cheap like I would. See you then. You guys are just awesome. You know that? Chapter 2. Oh, missed that part, did I? Interesting. What? Chapter 2. What do you want? After I sip my tea, I slip on a sweatshirt. My phone chimes, so I rush to my desk while smoothing the shirt. The caller ID says, Boss Man. Should I answer? If I do, and he asks why I left, what do I say? Hello, Ben, I say as my butt slowly meets my chair. Ah, concern rises deep voice. You left. Why did you leave? What are you hoping I'll say? As I answer his question with a question, I wonder if he'll bring up the earring. Would his confession be a relief to him after having held it for over a year? Terry, just start with the truth. Clears his throat. Why did you leave? Seconds pass, and I can't think of what to say. Oh my God, say something. It was obvious you were disgusted with me because I cheated on the other man in my life. I couldn't imagine staying in your office while you looked down at me like a father who caught his daughter having sex. Thank you, but I feel guilty enough already. A deep breath fills my lungs as I lean back in the chair and look up at the cracked ceiling. Look, maybe we shouldn't talk to each other for a while. We can discuss the case via email. Better yet, we should forget what happened this afternoon. No, what happened was we connected, and not just sexually. We had a moment. It was real. He sucks in a loud breath and releases it as he says, I don't know how to. I felt something, but maybe you didn't. Even if I had, what we did was wrong because I cheated on someone. And the very moment after we had our connection, as you called it, you literally threw it in my face. You judged me. I release a deflating breath. What happened? It was wonderful, but it'll never happen again. I'm angry and a little broken. If we could have a do over, I'd prevent him from saying anything after his orgasm. That way, we could hold the memory in high regard and perhaps acknowledge it to be an emotional experience. I'm sorry, Terry. I don't know why I said that. I wasn't judging you. I was excited you chose to be with me when you were adamant it would never happen. I was surprised. That's all. Even his breathing sounds defeated. If you want to be with him, be with him. If you want me, I'm here. I'm a patient man and I can wait for you to choose. Please don't let my stupidity ruin such a beautiful moment. Ben, if only I could turn back time, but you and I both. If I could, you'd still be in my arms, and I'd never let you go. There's sadness in his voice. Give me another chance. Please, Terry. I need a little time to think, to figure out my next step. I wipe the tears spilling down my cheeks. Deciding who to be with won't be easy. Each of you offers something the other can't. If you were him and he were you, I'd have the perfect man. But I can't do that, can I? Silence lingers. Will he take this opportunity to confess the secrets he holds? Seconds tick by. His deep voice rolls with a slowness that exudes confidence. You can take all the time you need to figure out what you want for yourself, but know that I won't wait quite by the wayside. I'll continue to pursue you. If you think I'll bow my head and walk away, you don't know me at all. I'll leave it in your hands. The familiar squeak of his office chair, followed by the sound of his desk drawer sliding open, has my heart beating faster. This is your life, Terry. What do you want? In a perfect world, you and he would become one being, and we'd be together in a life that has everything I need and desire. With Sam, too, of course. His voice is heavy with frustration. Then tell me what he does for you that you think I can't. I'll willingly let him spank me, torture me, and then sexually pleasure me, all while he teaches me to believe in my strength and shows me I'm treasured. If I say that under the assumption he's JoeSmith, when in reality he isn't, my secret will be exposed and he won't understand. I whisper, you wouldn't understand. Try me, he pleads. I'm excellent with secrets. Maybe someday, but not today. I must go. Don't worry, I'll be back at my desk on Monday. hang up our call and toss my phone on the desk beside my sleeping computer screen. I don't feel any better or worse than I did before talking to him. Why would I think he'd confess so easily? He's kept the secret for so long, it'll take an army to make him confess. Nina, here you go, baby. When Sam and I returned to my place, she begs me to describe the scene in fine detail. I describe our positions, what he did, what I did, his facial expressions, and how his hands felt on my body. Needless to say, we're both dripping wet by the time I finish. Sam and I 69, something we haven't yet done. This position's 100 times better with a woman than a man. What I do to her pussy, she does to mine. It's easy to imagine licking my pussy. I lick and suck her how I want it, and she does the same. I come so hard that I'm left quivering and breathless beneath her. Sam kneels over my face and rides my mouth. I let her have most of the control, which she likes. She puts her pussy where she wants me to lick, presses down how she wants, and humps my tongue how fast or slow she prefers. She begs me to flick fast and suck hard. When I do, her cum spills onto my chin and trickles down my jawline. It's the first time all day my inner dialogue isn't in a debate over the similarities and differences between Ben and JoeSmith. Everything in my life was so good for so long, and now everything's messy. Everything except for Sam's role in my life. Pizza, however, never tasted so good. There's nothing like a hard orgasm to bring me to that happy place where things seem so much better than reality has proven them to be. I love Sam and could spend my whole life with her. And I'd be lucky to have that privilege. Who knows? Maybe we'll be together forever and live as an openly lesbian couple. We'd bring men into our bed now and then, and they wouldn't be allowed to stay. My mother would shit herself if she could hear my thoughts. She does her best to be politically correct, but she grew up believing that anyone who steps outside of the societal norm must have been raised wrong. Maybe one day she'll change her thinking, but it's doubtful. Chapter 3. Here you go, Neener Beaner. Punishment or forgiveness. Morning comes too quickly. I turn my head to watch Sam sleep, but she's not in bed. The toaster pops and my stomach growls. Food! I smell breakfast and immediately say a silent prayer that she doesn't set fire to the kitchen. She's a terrible cook, even with something as simple as eggs. I don't know how she does it, but they are always rubbery. I flop onto my back, stare at the ceiling, and then close my eyes when I'm reminded that I've vowed to paint it at least 1,000 times and have yet to buy the paint. My finger slips between my labia and rolls tiny circles over my clitoris. I'm so wet that my vagina easily provides plenty of lubrication for my clit. My thoughts wander. Ben looks at me through the mirror as if his life's desire is to memorize my every facial flinch as I come. His face flushes, lips part, and his torso slams against my ass. Emerald eyes burn into mine. The heat from his hands burns my skin as he holds me against him and thrusts into me in a steady rhythm that slowly coaxes me closer to euphoria. Was that the first time he fucked someone in his bathroom while his employees worked below and risked their respect if he was found out? Is Ben an adventurist or an opportunist? What does it matter? He's been fucking lying to me for over a year. I stop masturbating. It's no use. I'm too tortured by my scattered thoughts to come. Tonight, I'll see my master. Should I tell him about Ben? Does he already know because he is Ben? Will he punish me if I confess? Will he punish me if I don't? Will he be locked in a moral struggle of whether to punish me for having sex with another man if that other man is actually him? It wouldn't be fair. But what if they aren't the same man? What if I tell Master about the sex and he casts me away? Sam's voice startles me from my thoughts. Oh, you're awake. How long you been up? Have you been up? She slides into bed and sets a wooden tray between us. Her cute ass cheek peeks from beneath the hem of her oversized powder blue t-shirt as her thigh skims along the sheet. The woman has a great ass. Not very long. I sit up. I see you made breakfast. Smells great. Oh, you've got to read the first one. This one doesn't make near as much sense if you don't. With the mug under my nose, the aromatic scent wafts up my nostrils, and a sigh eases away my tormented inner monologue. Good, huh? She says with a proud grin. My fingertips trail down her arm. This is wonderful. Thank you. You had some wild dreams last night. I woke up a few times because you were moaning up a storm. I think you were dreaming about your tryst with Boss Man. At one point, I tried to dip my fingers in your honey pot, but you yelled something about a diamond. Dreams are weird. She bites the corner of an egg sandwich on blackened toast. So, what were you dreaming? I don't remember. I honestly don't, and telling her where that dream originated is out of the question. It's no wonder why I was having a fantastic time. Diamonds were involved. Sex and diamonds. If they came as a package, life couldn't get much better than that. She giggles and bites the burnt sandwich. I set the coffee on the nightstand and snicker. Maybe they do, and we're just doing it wrong. It's evident she tried to scrape the ash off my toast, but it's still blackened. She's used to it, but I'm not a fan of burnt food. You seem off. She tilts her head and assesses me with her eyes. There's something you're not telling me? My eyes drop to my sandwich to give myself more time to think of what to say, and I decide to answer with a question. What? Something more than a secret hot rendezvous with a certain sexy boss in a private bathroom? Isn't that enough? I giggle and hope she doesn't see through the smoke and mirrors. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. She scratches just above her cleavage and sighs. I know you better than you think, and something's off. Confess, bitch. Woohoo! Way to go, Miss Pebbles. She's not going to let this go. You're going to be like that? It's come down to the name calling, has it? I fling a stray piece of onion at her, and it lands on her plate. She throws it back. It sticks to my arm, so I eat it. I'm serious, she says, and bends her knees to sit cross-legged. Sam, I'm fine. I'll talk, but not about the diamond. I cross one ankle over the other and fluff the pillow behind me before setting back on it. Should I be with Ben or stay with JoeSmith? I'd love to have them both, but that'd be impossible. She pulls her lips to one side and nods. Yeah, coming home to him exhausted after an evening at the castle and trying to explain away any marks left on your skin, not an easy feat. And do I tell JoeSmith about my tryst with Ben? If I don't and he finds out somehow, it'll be a strong reason for him to banish me. But if I tell him, he might walk away from me anyway. I tear a blackened edge of crust off the toast and shake my head. I don't know what to do. These are legitimate concerns and the truth, just not the whole truth. All right, let's talk through it. She sets her sandwich down, brushes her palms together over her plate to rid the crumbs, and then rubs her palms on her thighs. You said that telling him would be better than if he happens to find out on his own. But how would he? I don't know, I say under my breath. He must be very wealthy if he can afford these types of extracurriculars. I'm sure the membership fees at the castle aren't cheap. So if he has ample money, he may have hired someone to keep an eye on you. She shrugs as her head bobs left to right. Everyone knows money can easily buy information. Maybe. I can't see there being a mole at work because there haven't been any new hires within the past year when I started meeting with JoeSmith. Oh no, JoeSmith come to my house. She can keep her coat. I want JoeSmith. Send Sam too, I don't care. She nods while her eyes unknowingly search the wall in front of her. I bite the sandwich and force myself to chew the rubbery egg, but decide to wash it down unchewed with a sip of coffee instead. It feels gross in my mouth. Her arms flail to emphasize her advice. Maybe you should tell him and let him decide your fate. It could go one of two ways. You'll tell him and he'll punish your ass, but forgive you, and nothing will change. But if he can't accept it, on a positive note, you'll be free and clear to start a normal, regular, somewhat more boring life with Ben. You two can grow old together as happy little vanilla clams. Hey, me? Nina, I ain't sharing. Uh-uh. Go. She's right. I should tell him. Our contract states that we have to, so an informed decision can be made to continue or cancel. And a test for sexually transmitted diseases before we have sex again can be discussed as well. If he finds out that I had sex with someone and didn't give him the option to have me immediately tested, it could get really ugly. I have to tell him I'm legally obligated. Besides, if I don't, the guilt will eat me up inside. She bites her fingernail, and I can tell what she's thinking. With a groan, I tip my head back and then meet her eyes. Yeah, this might be the end. I'm sorry, Sam. I fucked up. You've had such a good time, and I may have ruined that for you. At least I got to experience it. She bites her lip and waves her brows. Although, I say with hugging my mug, even if he refuses me, he might bump you up to become my new pet, his new pet. That'd be fun for you. Hopefully, my jealous green monster doesn't show in my voice. You could tell me all about what he does to you. I'll live vicariously through you. I chuckle and she sticks out her bottom lip to pout. I don't think I'll continue going if you aren't there. It won't be as fun if my bestie isn't by my side. Her eyebrow and top lip flipped. Or between my legs. I'll be there in spirit, I say with a giggle, picking up the sandwich, and there will be no pouting. I won't allow it. Sam slurps her coffee. Hey, if you end up choosing Ben, what happens with us? She raises her arm as if to stop me from answering. I apologize if I sound like the jealous girlfriend who thinks she's going to get pushed aside because there's a new shiny toy. But I mean, if you want to be with him and only him and not me, I'll understand. Just tell me. I promise I'll always be your bestie, even without the cliche friends with benefits thingy. We'll always be best friends. I can't see us ever parting ways. As for this, I pat the bed and shrug. I don't know yet. Ben seems to figure he'd be fine with us remaining lovers, But men always say that with hopes they'll get to join in. If I tell him he can't, his tune will surely change and jealousy will rear its ugly head. Sam went home to get some chores done and promised to meet me at the corner in time for the limo's arrival. I can decompress while she's gone. With my favorite hardcore workout tunes blasting through my earbuds, I step on the treadmill to get some exercise. I have a lot of pent up frustration to work off before tonight. My hands haven't stopped shaking since I ran from Ben's office. At 4 o'clock, I pour a glass of wine and sip it until it's time to leave. Maybe alcohol will ease my nerves so I don't throw myself at his feet and beg for forgiveness in a puddle of tears. Sam's at the corner, chewing her fingernail. Her sag shoulders lead me to believe she's on the phone with her mother. She sees me, points at the phone while she mouths, "Mother," and rolls her eyes. As usual, they're arguing about her lack of visits. Selma agrees to stop by sometime tomorrow. It's the only way she can end the call. "How are you?" she asks as she slips her phone in the open zipper on her purse. She winds her arms and closes the distance between us so she can give me a hug and a kiss on my lips. "Mom?" I ask. "I just saw her last week and she acts like it's been a month." She shakes her head and presses her lips together in a hard line. "Enough about me. How are you holding up? Have you been a nervous wreck since I left this morning?" You know me so well. I hold out my hand and we both watch it shake. "I haven't decided what to do, and a glass of wine didn't calm my nerves, so I couldn't think rationally." My eyes squint as I look up at the sky. Tequila might have been a better choice. Sam hands me her coffee so she can dig in her purse. She opens a pill bottle, breaks the little white pill in half, hands it to me, and then takes her cup. "Take this. It's a mild sedative." She holds her palm up to me when I shake my head. "It won't make you sleepy, I promise." "Are you sure?" I ask and then pop it in my mouth when she rolls her eyes. "Fuck it." About halfway to the castle, I feel a calmness ease over me like a warm wave, and my hands aren't shaking. My words break through the steady hum from the wheels caressing the concrete. The pill worked. "Oh, that's great." Sounds like she was asleep or deep in thought. "You're not tired, are you?" "No, just calm. Still worried, though." "It'll be okay, Terry." She reaches for my hand. "No matter what, we'll always have each other." All right, one more chapter and then I'm done. Because I've been reading these in 50. It's been taking me 15 minutes. "Are you talking to Miss Billy?" Billy likes her cowboys. Chapter 4, Like a Rope in Gym Class. I step out of the limo first and I'm met with sky blue eyes that look almost white when they catch the light just right. He lifts one corner of his puffy lips and my breath catches. Our leader is the gorgeous, mountainous man with long blonde hair who was Lady Catherine's dog. He led me to the showers after JoeSmith made love to me. The sun kisses his tanned, hairless skin that stretches over his gladiator sized muscles. The shadows cast from his cheekbones accentuate his sculpted jawline and the lips I crave to taste. His waist is tight, but my attention is drawn to the deep V pointing the way to his package. He wears tight black latex shorts, so low waisted they barely cover up the top of his impressive bulge. His thighs are thick and top the knee high leather boots that lace in crisscross patterns at the back. This man is perfection at its best. Where did they find him? And was it his idea to dress and act in this manner? Or is it in his job description? Do they pay him to be here? Today, he isn't submissive. He's dominant. At least he looks the part. Sam steps out of the limo and mutters, "Ah, okay." He glares down his nose at her, and she whimpers louder than she should. Follow me, he says in a voice so deep it vibrates my chest and weakens my knees. If he said something sexy in my ear while he fucked me, I'd probably spontaneously combust. That would be Nina. We all know she likes the deep voice ones. Truth be told, Sam and I would trail behind him for miles without complaint. His shorts cover only half of his ass, leaving the bottom of his muscular cheeks exposed. What would it feel like to have him between my thighs, fucking me with his tight ass grasp firmly in my hands? His powerful thrust must be intense. He must have to keep a firm hold on a woman so he doesn't buck them across the room. We sign the papers, and then he watches us shower. He doesn't look away even once. Being watched by this phenomenal man while lust shapes his eyes is arousing as fuck. But when we use the enema, I'm humiliated even though it doesn't seem to bother him in the slightest. He leans against the doorframe with a semi-hard cock straining his shorts, one leg crossed over the other, and his arms folded over his thick chest. Knowing this magnificent man is aroused as he watches us wash our bodies inside and out gives me an ego boost. Sam's into it and watches him as she tries to turn him on. To get her to focus and hurry, I snap my fingers and she purses her lips at me. He hands us each a towel and we dry ourselves. As he leads us to the dressing room, I break the rules by talking. Excuse me. The brawny man stops and slowly turns to meet my eyes. His feet rest shoulder width apart and his arms cross over his chest. He looks tough, dominant, and delicious. Sam clears her throat and it sounds like a purr. She's smitten. Forgive me. I know talking is forbidden. I'd like to request a moment to speak freely to Master JoeSmith before he begins. His brow furrows. I'll get word to him, but there's no guarantee he'll allow it. It's extremely important, I add and cross my arms over my chest to hug myself. Sam's glare might melt the side of my face if she keeps it up. As I said, no guarantees. He repeats and glares at me with his intimidating gaze. You will not speak to him unless he asks you to. Is that clear? Duh, I know the rules. Yes, sir. He continues guiding us down the hall. I find it odd that he was a well-trained submissive for Mistress Catherine, and yet he's the complete opposite today. How does he switch it on and off like that? As if he heard my thoughts, he looks over his shoulder, meets my eye, and turns back, not once missing a step. If I tried that, my face would likely meet the floor in a hurry, but I'm clumsy. This man makes me nervous, but I still want to climb him. Sam continues to stare at his ass and thighs. Her hand waves in front of me to get my attention. She holds her palms a foot apart and mouths the word, "Oh my gosh, he's huge." My hand covers my mouth to stifle a laugh when she waves her tongue and struts flamboyantly with her knees pointed outward, arms stretched toward him with her back arched back so her pussy leads the way. He looks over his shoulder in time to see her unconvincing attempt to look innocent and turns to walk backward while his eyes lock on her and a corner of his puffy lips turns up. He stops and holds her gaze. She doesn't look away. Hell, she doesn't even flinch. Holy shit, he's flirting with her. My pussy tightens at the thought of her riding his enormous cock. Her nipples are stiff as marbles, and I bet my card she's wet between her thighs. How she's able to restrain from leaping up and wrapping her legs around his waist baffles me. Sam bursts into nervous laughter and slaps her hands to her mouth to regain control. but it doesn't help. He lifts his thick arm and holds his long fat finger to his lips to shush her, and then growls like a wolf about to attack his prey. Not once do their eyes part. She takes a quick step back as she grabs my arm to steady herself. Her laughter halts. If he were to wave a come hither finger, she'd hop on him as if she were a drowning woman and he a raft. Our hair is French braided and our makeup is almost non existent. The two nearly nude ladies apply a lotion that smells of chocolate and strawberries. They dress us in black thongs and slippers, nothing more. We follow the sensational Adonis down the hall, through an archway, and to the end of another long hall. He stops, turns, and points his massive arm toward a room with a toilet. We do our final urination without privacy. Our journey continues around the corner and two doors down. He holds up his hand to stop us and then leisurely circles us while admiring our bodies. With a fistful of Sam's hair in his grip, he leans down to sniff her neck. A growled moan accompanies his exhale, and our breath catches. My pussy is silently screaming her desire to have him. Please, JoeSmith, let him join in one day soon. He opens a 10-foot tall, 6-foot wide, heavy metal door, and its hinges squeal. He orders us in and closes the door behind us. Unfortunately, he doesn't follow us in. Sam bounces on her toes, and with wide eyes and a smile that shows too many teeth, she whispers excitedly, Holy fuck, that guy's hot! I want to climb him like a rope in gym class! I nearly snot on myself when I cover my mouth to hold back my laughter. The air in this room is cool and tastes metallic. Although she whispers, her voice echoes off the metal walls and cement floor. Even the ceilings plated with metal sheets. Orange flames dance atop the 8 candle sconces lining the walls. They flicker wildly as if the flame is desperate to escape. Two metal lattice-shaped sheets dangle from chains almost perfectly horizontal to the ceiling. They're the size of double beds. This room is designed to intimidate and has me feeling colder than the air actually is. Several metal apparatuses are spread out around the room. There's also a cage, two high-back bondage chairs, plenty of chains dangling from the tall ceiling, and a few steel bars balancing away from the walls that would suit a ballerina. Perhaps I should reconsider my decision to confess. Sam looks more worried than I've ever seen her, and it's not a good look on her pretty face. She holds her arms out from her sides and shakes her head. This might not be the safest room to tell him about. You know what? If you know what I mean, I'm worried about you. If he decides we're done, it would hurt me more than any physical punishment he condemns me with. Please do not cast me aside. My smile is convincing, but my words not so much. I'll be fine. Everything's going to be fine. Boom. Done. All right, ladies. Go get the first book and read it if you haven't done that. If you have and you've not started the second book, I just got you through the first 4 chapters. So you're already halfway there, or 7% there. Nana, go read your book. I know you've got the damn book. Go read it. If you hadn't already. All right, ladies. It's free on KU. you all know you're ready for some loving from Mr. Joe Smith. Um, for those that don't know, I need some prayers. Um, my aunt, my mom's sister, is in the hospital with um uh my aunt's in the hospital. She had a massive stroke over the weekend or in the last week. And then just before I got on here tonight, my brother called or texted me and told me that our cousin and his wife had a head-on collision, and we're taken to the same hospital my aunt is in, and not it's not her kids, it's her first cousin, and they were alert, but they were both transported by ambulance. So keep everybody in your prayers. Now then, my brother, God bless his little soul, sent this to me. It's a play on Walmart stuff, okay? It's like only at WLAMRAT. And instead of saying great value, it says great dick. It's called Sasquatch Foreskin. I don't know if you guys can even see that. I'll send it in the chat group, girls, for those that have a chat group with me. Robbie says, I'd try it. What about y'all? And Daddy says, you belong to the LBGQ club. And Robbie says, heck no, this is food, just like mountain oysters and cow balls. And Daddy says, you'd starve to death on mine. I still don't have any hanging. My brother says, you ain't a Sasquatch, a pig, nor a bull, so no worries. My, my, my family is just pitiful, y'all. No, it's called Sasquatch Foreskin. I'll send it to you guys. Oh my gosh, it's just too hilarious. Okay. My girls, I will send it um in the girls chat with the other two that don't show up much anymore. They're just too busy. And then Miss Pebbles, I'll send it to you too. All right, ladies. I got another read tomorrow night, so come back tomorrow night, same time, same place. Y'all have a good one, okay? Love you all. Good night. Happy reading.